The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as Shakur Stevenson openly declares his desire to face Gervonta Tank Davis in what could be one of the most electrifying fights in recent history. Stevenson, a master of technical precision and defense, has boldly embraced his status as the B-side, making it clear that he's not interested in ego-driven negotiations. Instead, he's focused on one goal: securing a showdown with the undefeated Tank Davis. This isn't just about belts or rankings, it's about legacy and proving who truly reigns supreme in the lightweight division. With Stevenson's persistent call-outs and willingness to let Tank dictate the terms, the pressure is now on Davis to either accept the challenge or risk being labeled as avoiding one of boxing's fastest rising stars. But this isn't just another fight, this is a battle of narratives. Stevenson's strategic approach, using media platforms to publicly request the fight and highlight his humility in negotiations, puts Tank Davis in a spotlight he can't easily avoid. Fans are already speculating about what this matchup would bring: a clash of styles between Stevenson's cerebral, defensive tactics and Davis's explosive power and aggression. The potential fight has all the ingredients of a blockbuster, a storyline packed with tension, contrasting skills, and two fighters hungry to cement their legacies. Will Tank step up and deliver, or will Stevenson's calculated moves outmaneuver him before they even step into the ring? The stakes have never been higher, and the boxing world is waiting for the answer. Shakur Stevenson recently made it clear that he's ready to face Gervonta Tank Davis, openly admitting that he knows his position as the B-side in negotiations. Unlike other fighters who demand equal terms, Stevenson emphasized his willingness to work within realistic expectations to get the fight signed. This calculated move is part of Shakur's broader strategy to apply pressure on Tank. By acknowledging his secondary status, he aims to eliminate excuses and frame Davis as avoiding the fight if negotiations don't materialize. Leveraging the support of fans and media, Stevenson's approach paints Tank into a corner, forcing him to consider the fight or risk public criticism. While Shakur speaks about proving he's the best, his underlying goal seems tied to the financial reward that would come with fighting a star like Gervonta Davis. During an interview, Stevenson didn't shy away from admitting that a fight with Tank is about more than just legacy, it's about the money. He openly stated that the bout would get me paid a lot, signaling his financial motivation. Shakur has been relentless in his pursuit of this fight since 2023, frequently calling out Davis and making it the centerpiece of his ambitions. Instead of earning his way to the fight through other challenging matchups, like a rematch with Edwin de los Santos or battles against Keyshawn Davis or Andy Cruz, Stevenson has chosen a more direct route. By consistently naming Tank in interviews and staying in the media spotlight, Shakur is keeping the pressure alive and making sure Davis feels the heat from fans and critics alike. Shakur's approach of acknowledging his B-side status is both strategic and bold. It sends a message that he's willing to negotiate fairly and focus on making the fight happen rather than engaging in ego-driven demands. By doing this, he's removing potential barriers and leaving the ball in Tank's court. However, it's clear that Shakur's urgency is fueled by more than just competitive spirit. A fight with Davis represents not only a chance to unify titles but also the biggest financial opportunity of his career. Shakur knows that facing Gervonta would bring attention, legacy, and life-changing money that no other lightweight opponent could offer. Stevenson's persistent pursuit of Gervonta Davis has sparked conversations about his intentions and strategy. While some applaud his transparency and determination, others view it as a sign of desperation for a lucrative payday. By repeatedly calling out Tank and prioritizing this fight over others, Shakur has made it clear that he sees Davis as his ticket to the top. His willingness to bypass other potential opponents has drawn criticism, with skeptics arguing that he's taking shortcuts rather than earning his way to a big fight. Regardless of opinions, Shakur's relentless efforts to secure this matchup show his belief in his skills and his desire to prove himself against one of the biggest names in boxing today. Shakur Stevenson's eagerness to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis highlights the high stakes involved in modern boxing. While Stevenson has been vocal about his willingness to accept his role as the B-side, his persistence is about more than just agreeing to terms. This matchup represents a crossroads for Stevenson. A victory over Tank would elevate his career to new heights, both in terms of legacy and financial reward. By showing that he's willing to leave ego aside and negotiate without demanding equal footing, Stevenson is not only demonstrating professionalism but also making it increasingly difficult for Tank to justify avoiding the fight. The pressure from fans and the boxing world is steadily mounting. However, there's no denying that Stevenson's strategy is a gamble. Critics argue that by focusing solely on Tank, he risks narrowing his career trajectory and alienating other opportunities. Fighters like Gervonta Davis, Andy Cruz, or a rematch with Edwin de los Santos could provide meaningful challenges and help Shakur solidify his reputation. Yet, Stevenson seems laser-focused on Davis, knowing that a fight with one of the sport's biggest stars carries unmatched prestige and financial potential. Whether this gamble will pay off or backfire remains to be seen, but it's clear that Stevenson is betting heavily on himself and his ability to rise to the occasion. On the other hand, Gervonta Davis finds himself in an equally complicated position. As one of boxing's biggest draws, Tank holds significant leverage in negotiations and can afford to be selective about his opponents. However, Stevenson's calculated moves have put Tank in a tricky spot. By publicly acknowledging his B-side status and willingness to negotiate, Shakur has created a narrative that could make Davis look hesitant if he doesn't accept the fight. This dynamic places pressure on Tank to either step into the ring or face criticism for potentially ducking a rising star. The fight, if it happens, would not only be a clash of skill but also a battle of reputations. What makes this potential matchup even more intriguing is the contrast in fighting styles. Stevenson's technical precision and defensive mastery clash with Davis's explosive power and finishing ability. Fans and analysts have speculated endlessly about how their skill sets would match up in the ring. Would Shakur's tactical brilliance be enough to neutralize Tank's devastating punches? Or would Davis's relentless aggression and knockout power prove too much for Stevenson to handle? Beyond the financial stakes, this fight promises to be a showcase of elite-level boxing, leaving fans eagerly awaiting any updates on its possibility. The brewing tension between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis has electrified the boxing world, promising a potential showdown that could redefine the lightweight division. Stevenson's relentless pursuit of this fight and his willingness to embrace the B-side role is a testament to his hunger for greatness, while Tank Davis's response will determine whether this rivalry transforms into one of boxing's most compelling stories. This isn't just about money or titles, it's about pride, legacy, and proving who truly deserves to be called the best. Fans are eager to see if Tank will rise to the challenge or if Stevenson's persistence will force his hand. Regardless of how negotiations unfold, this fight has already captured the imagination of boxing enthusiasts everywhere, setting the stage for what could be an unforgettable clash of styles, skill, and determination.